sometimes editors change and we have to change with it. But I always enjoyed getting out there in the community, covering your events, and hitting the things that the mainstream press generally overlooks, getting it out there so that people can hear it. So, what's been going on with you? You're doing some great stuff in the field of criminal justice, and great stuff in the community. Tell me about this criminal justice reform legislation you're pushing.
So, last session, we got a bill that the governor said, House Bill 1419, which is now in place law. The governor signed it into law last week, which basically says those within 3.2 that have been allowed a nature after 10 years open automatically will seal those persons' record. They don't even have to go to court; it just happens automatically. And M1, I don't know if you know, maybe example is supposed to, but this is the first debate where they can now go to court to get those things sealed as well. So, this is the first, the automatic sealing is the first of its kind in the nation. And myself and Representative Delozier, who was the other prime sponsor on the bill, have been traveling and talking to folks throughout the country about this. And it's supposed to look to bring this type of legislation to their state.
And Rep, that couldn't have been an easy fight. I don't think people really get an appreciation. It's a no-brainer for us, but I don't think people really have an appreciation of how tough such legislation can be to get to this level. How tough was that fight? What did you have to go through?
Well, we've been paying for stuff like this pretty good. I've been in the legislature at least before another state senator, Shirley Gibson, for years have been working on legislation on criminal record expungement, and it didn't happen. We did back in 2015 get House number 5 that just dealt with and 2 and 3, and 18 we were able to get the clean slate bill done. I mean, the reality is this, let me tell you, and although in all fairness, criminal justice is becoming a bipartisan issue, it is definitely something that has just come to that state where that status is the recent time. And folks have been fighting so many times to get a pathway for our brothers and sisters who may have, some of the things that pathway will change their life around and deserve a second chance. So, it is not an easy feat to get something like this done, but, working with folks across the island, being relentless in our pursuit, we were able to get it done.
So, I mean, what was it? What was some of the opposition saying when this bill was introduced? And as you said, it wasn't the first time. There's been efforts previously, but there's been obstacles. What were the obstacles? What was it that those who opposed it were saying in defense of their opposition to it?
Sure, I mean, a lot of folks, some folks feel like if you have a record, people should be able to find your record in perpetuity because they believe that folks will always be punished for their past. Some folks believe that. We had some folks that just consider themselves tough on crime and therefore believe that there should
Now, Rep, there's a lot of things you're doing. One of the things I guess we intended to have was the members of the Black Caucus here, and to discuss some of the things the caucus doing. And though criminal justice is a big major issue in our community and and among your constituents, there's also some things that's concerning blight, community economics, and etc. Where do as far as the Black Caucus and its relevance to Black people, and especially those among your constituency, how relevant is it, and what can we expect? What bread and butter issues can we expect out of the caucus?
I mean, the Black Caucus is extremely relevant. It is the voice of Black and brown people in our Commonwealth. And a lot of what I believe I've been able to get done in the General Assembly is because I was the chairman of the Black Caucus. We did something on gun violence just last year, created a grant around around evidence-based programming and health for youth violence and reduce gun violence. There was 1.5 million last year, 1.5 million this year, so $3 million pot of money. I could say that Philadelphia, the first $1.5 million, Philadelphia got $500,000 and implemented a crisis intervention team. So I could say that the Black Caucus is very, very, very relevant, and it's a necessity. And although I'm no longer the chairman, and Representative Steve Kinsey is now the chairman, it's extremely important for Black people to support the Black Caucus and pay attention to what the caucus is doing.
And because there seems to be, if I was to ask the average person, like if I was to walk down the street, and I haven't done it, so of course this is not scientific, but I'm saying, if I asked the average person about the Black Caucus and what they did, now you know what you guys do, I know what they do, Sonia do, but the average person on the street wouldn't know. What can we do, or what's being done so that to introduce the work of the caucus to the people the caucus exists to represent?
Well, I think the first thing is, I mean, we all, most of us, a majority of us have smartphones, so it's not that difficult to follow the Black Caucus on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, to go to the Black Caucus website. I know that when I was the chairman, we definitely increased our social media. So it's extremely easy for folks to, follow the Black Caucus on all of those social media platforms, to find out what the Black Caucus is doing and find out how they can be involved in what the Black Caucus is doing. So I suggest folks do that. Also, the membership. If you live in an area, you're a senator or you're a representative as a member of the Black Caucus, you should be keeping in contact with them to see what they're doing with the Black Caucus. So it's extremely important that folks, use all of those tools. I mean, then last year in a week, if you don't have any of those tools, I mean, the Black Caucus as a whole.
We're losing you. We're losing you, Rep. You're going in and out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The last thing about it is, if people don't have those social media outlets, they can easily just pick up the phone, call the office of the Black Caucus, and find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And so that leads us to the bread and butter issue. We mentioned one thing,
right,
which is actually that's a major thing, because especially in Philadelphia, where so many prisoners around the state come from Philadelphia, a disproportionate percentage of it. So that's a big deal. What other bread and butter issues are the Black Caucus, the members of the Black Caucus confronting?
Well, one of the things I know for sure we're looking at is poverty. Just in Philadelphia, 26% of people that live in the city of Philadelphia live in poverty. Half of those folks live in deep poverty. So, poverty is a huge issue. It's a huge issue for brown people that needs to be discussed. But not just poverty. When you talk about poverty, you got to talk about all of the things that feed poverty and all of the things that are a byproduct of poverty. So our lack of education, Democratic caucus in the House, I can tell you that that's something to look at as well. It's
And speaking of poverty, I saw something on Facebook. This was a while ago, but it was so accurate as far as what I've been able to see in reality. And they had a picture of it was a picture of the same neighborhood, same house, dilapidated, and then they showed the different black leaders. And I'm hoping I'm describing this accurately. I'm probably not, but the essence was we've had black leaders, we even had a black president, black mayor. We've shattered glass ceilings. We just shattered it. We've acquired positions of power, but in the communities shown in that depiction, they stayed the same through segregation. They stayed the same through, they were still dilapidated then. They were dilapidated through us getting the right to vote. They were dilapidated once we got black leaders. What is it? Why are our conditions, even when we get people, we get positions of power we couldn't get before? Why are our conditions staying the same, in your opinion?
well, I think folks look at that from the wrong vantage point. It's nice to point out, we've had a black mayor, we've had black mayors, we've had a black president, but yet, in over 200 years of this country's existence, we've had one black president. Absolutely, you are correct. Out of 45 presidents, one of them happened to be a brother. So, is that our leadership for why black people should, or where black people should be? I think we're missing the point. We had one black president, and we had one black president who then got in office and provided health care for millions of Americans. So, if that was the only thing he did, I would say that alone has helped black and brown people. But let's be clear, it was one black president out of 45 United States presidents. So let's take it a step further. Pennsylvania has never, ever had a black governor. Pennsylvania has never had a black Senate governor, never had a black attorney general, never had a black auditor general. It's had a black president, but that black president was appointed to serve on somebody else's term when they resigned. Pennsylvania has only had one black speaker. Pennsylvania has never had a black speaker in the Senate. So when we talk about where we should be as black people, I think we have to look at it in its totality. In the history of the United States, I believe it's four or five of our states have had one African American to be governor out of the 50 states. So we can't act like there's an overwhelming black leadership and that black people's position in life has changed with all of this overwhelming leadership. I'm 34 years old. The first black mayor of this city happened in my lifetime. Okay, in my lifetime. We've had two more since then. But again, when you look at where the power actually rests, when you look at education, that's a state issue. When you look at incarceration, that's a state issue. So when you look at these things, you also got to look at the fact that we've never had black folk in those positions. So, I think it's a misnomer when folks say, oh, we had a black president, and look at, the status of black people. Yes, we've had one black president out of 45, and the one black president we got gave millions of Americans health care.
How much of that is of the persistence of our problems? I need to write that, the persistence of our problems. See, that's the writer in me coming out. But how much is on us? When I say us, I mean the community us, not the legislators us, because that plays a part, we understand that. But not the black caucus, not our state reps, not our senators, but the internal communities themselves, the grassroots. How much of that is on us? We have to take onus for that.
Well, I mean, we can take ownership for the things that we can take ownership for. When I was a kid, my grandma used to go out every Saturday and she would wash her steps. You can wash your steps. That helps your community. You can pick up the trash. That helps your community. You can check your child's bedroom to make sure that they don't have things that they shouldn't have in your house, not in engaged. You should be calling your elected officials and telling them what you like and what you don't like, and you should be holding them accountable. And we have to educate ourselves so that we know, what's going on and what people are doing. Because a lot of times, and I can tell you this being a legislator, people tell you one thing, go to Harrisburg, City Hall, Washington, do another thing, and then come back and ask you for your vote. And because they give you a sound good speech, you don't know their voting records, so you score. That's all stuff. We gotta stop allowing people to take advantage of us in that way.
And that's a good point, right? Because a lot of people that I've been speaking to, I've been out there covering community affairs, especially West, Southwest, and South Philadelphia areas for almost a decade, probably a decade until this current year. And one of the things I've heard consistently was the fact that a lot of people just felt as though there was, there was no engagement from their elected officials. There was no continued after they voted for them, they got in the office. There was no continued engagement from their half. What can be done practically on a practical level for the everyday person to keep pressure on those you voted for, so that once they're in office, they do what they said they were going to do before they got in office?
Sure. I mean, call them. Every elected official has a phone number. Whether it's, with me, I have 3 offices. I have one in Harrisburg, I have 2 in Philadelphia. People can call their elected officials office, and particularly their local electeds, because when you have local elected officials who win election by 100, 200, 300 votes, if 40 people continuously call them on an issue, that becomes a big deal to them. Because, elected officials are thinking about the next election. So if they know they won their election by 200 votes and 100 people continue to call their office on a certain issue, they're going to pay attention. So, call them. Send them an email. Send them a message on social media. And they respond, say something about it. Hey, I sent you an email. You didn't respond. Hold them accountable. That's their rule. And here's the thing. It's not that invasive. It's not that intrusive. And it doesn't really take a whole lot of your time. I get emails from constituents all the time. And I do my best to respond to all of them. Or as many as possible. If I can't, I'll shoot it over to my staff to say, hey, take a look at this, make sure we respond. And I've had some constituents that if I don't respond the first time, they'll send me another email. That's another thing you got to stop doing. We got to stop, being passive in our activism. It's like, oh, I called one time, they didn't call me back, so they don't care about the community. Well, that's not necessarily true either. I represent 62,000 constituents. If you sent me one email and I didn't respond, feel free to send me another one. Now, after you sent 5 and I hadn't responded, well then, that's a different story. But we have to continue. This is our government. You get the government that you are active in. And if you're not active, you get that government as well.
And tell me about, in your opinion, about Black Republicans. And I'm not talking about elected officials Republican. I mean the more conservative, because we always hear about the liberal side, the Democratic side. Do they come to you? Do you hear like people who are conservative that come to you and be like, well, I'm a Republican, but could you this or that or that? Do they feel disempowered in Philadelphia, and so they just step out of the box?
I know Black Republicans, and I have some that live in my district, and some of them engage with me, and they have a right to, because even though I'm a Democrat, they are my constituents as well. And quite honestly, if we're being honest, a lot of times Black people are more conservative than they like to talk about, but a lot of Black folks are socially conservative, but they're more fiscally liberal. So it's not, and so for me, I don't think we should put any Black or brown person in the box, because we need as many Black or brown people fighting for Black
talking liberation of black and brown people. Now you talking about talk. So you're gonna have to elaborate on that, my brother.
I've always been clear where I come from when it comes to black and brown people. I mean, we came to this country not by our own accord, many of us. I mean, some of us did come around, but the bulk of black Americans didn't come here because we wanted to. We came because we were enslaved. Many of us can't tell you, who our ancestors are or what country they came from. We can only identify a continent. Our story is vastly different from the story of a lot of people because of that, because of how we got here. In many instances, even in 2018, we are still oppressed. We're oppressed when it comes to the criminal justice system. In many places, we're oppressed when it comes to education. Many times, we're oppressed when it comes to our employment opportunities. Many of our communities are oppressed. And we haven't, in many instances, been given the same shot as other people. Now, that's not to say that we can't overcome those things, because in many instances, many of us have overcome. But if we're being fair, if zero is the starting point, many black and brown people in this country have started at a -30. So when I talk about the liberation of black and brown people, it's the liberation of those chains, the chains of bondage of the criminal justice system, the change in bondage of inadequate and unequitable educational system. That's what I talk about, and I don't shy away from that. I'm unapologetically black in that sense, and I think more of us should talk about it that way.
Mm-hmm. There is a big problem in our communities. You represent, you're a native of South Philadelphia, and you represent that area. And I'm from West, even though I no longer live in West Philadelphia. I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. Go ahead, finish that song, Sonny. No, I'm the kids. But in a lot of areas where you rep and where me, and other people, it's no longer the same as when we grew up. And change is a constant part of life. But a lot of those areas have become so gentrified where now we can no longer even live there. We can know that the house that my uncle once owned on 51st Street near Archwood is now, $300,000? I couldn't even think of renting a room there, much less living there. What impact does gentrification, the displacement of our people from our former neighborhoods, what impact is that? How pervasive is it? What impact is it having on us? And then, what, if anything, can we do about it?
Well, so, I agree with everything that was saying. Let's be clear. Gentrification is connected to finance. And finance is green. It's not black nor brown. And if we're being honest, gentrification, while it may hit our community harder, what I can say is that gentrification has hit a lot of people. And if we're not careful, the city of Philadelphia will become a mini Manhattan in no time. And that's not just going to affect black and brown people, because I can assure you, as a person who represents a diverse district, I can assure you that there are many people who don't share the melanin that we have, who can't afford to live in $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, and $700,000 homes themselves. So we're not just talking about, when we talk about gentrification, I don't think we should just talk about it from a black and brown perspective. We should talk about it from a green.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose you, Brett? I think we just lost Representative Jordan Harris. Rep, if you can hear us, please call back. But in the meantime, we were just having a great conversation. Representative Harris was giving it to us raw. Member of the Black Caucus, representing South Philadelphia, young representative, only in his 30s. He added some fresh blood and fresh vision up in the joint. So, but I think we have him back. Philly Hot Radio, is that you, Rep? We lost him again. We lost him, Rep. There seem to be some technical problems. I think it's on your end, though, Rep. But anyway, as I was saying, we were just talking about some things. You guys can always chime in, but the rep said some things that were, and you probably heard it over and over again, and that's
Very
because
interesting.
they're true, and they shouldn't be discounted either. That we have a responsibility to hold the elected officials responsible.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
a responsible to hold them responsible. You know who your representatives are. Don't get frustrated when they don't answer one email or they don't answer one call. Um, nag them. Nag them if you have to. I hate to use the word nag,
Be
but
persistent.
be engaged because some of these people are making some good salaries and their job is to work for you. When
We
they're
are
running
their
for a
boss.
campaign, you know what that is? That's a job interview. That's a candidate saying, I would like to work for you. Here are my
I'm
credentials.
glad you said that.
Uh,
I'm glad you said that
you,
because I'm I don't push too much in Delaware. I mean in Philadelphia. But Delaware and Delaware County, I go hard because I'm known in there. But I try to get people to understand that first thing people say is they don't do anything for me. Okay, so you allow them to be in office for how many years? And okay, so I don't think people realize what you're saying is that we are their boss. Here's the thing: when they come and say, "Hey, there's a position open that I want," and hey, if you put me in office, I'm going to do this, 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 and that. What happens is they're supposed to be doing those things. But if you get the masses together and say, hey, we don't like that, they're supposed to honor that because they are representing us. But what happens is, like State Rep Jordan Harris said, is that if you call me one time and then you sit back and say, well, I got an attitude because I called you didn't respond. Well, okay, well, here's the thing: I cover this district, that district, and here's my population of 500, 600, maybe 1,000 people. You calling me one time, of course I'm not going to remember to
you
call
got
you
a lot
back
of
because
people.
I got a lot of people to get to. But be persistent. Now what happens is if I come back and say, hey, well, yeah, I called you X amount of times, now I'm starting to feel some kind of way, then but I've always said that make these people accountable. Go to their doors, call these people up, hit their emails. Like they are responsible to responding to you.
I always say, and I'm not going to drop any names. They know who they are if they're listening, and they're probably not. But I'm not a fan of South Bend, Florida.
Yeah.
Everybody know that. It's I got peeps there, and everything, and I'm there all the time. But it's not my favorite. But one thing I can say about the area
Mm.
is they have some of the best community organizers,
Oh,
the most engaged community
engaged.
organizers. How they got in the condition they in is not because of
No.
them. It's not because of them. But I say that to say this. They will fight and keep engaged, go to those
Yes.
zoning meetings and all, because they know the average person can't go to no zoning meetings all
Just
the
like
time. They got
Germantown.
like me. I got 3 jobs. Imagine the average person working 2 jobs. Well, they're busy, but the community advocates out there, they keep them engaged, and that's what we have to do. We have to, like Rep Harris said, we have to stay engaged ourselves,
We have
and
to.
our community activists and
And you
activists.
have to make them held accountable. You have to find out. Here's the thing: they have too many people to try to say, "Hey," but that's not to say, "Hey, because I have too many people, I'm going to, slip off the radar." No. Um, there was a election that took place in Delaware County, and I'm gonna leave it in Delaware County. And what had happened was, this one person was running for office, and all I kept hearing is, they don't do anything. And this is from somebody who used to live in that state, but now moved. So they're getting their information from people inside. So I'm like, okay, so here's my thing. So you allow this person to sit into office 10, 20, almost 20 years, and they haven't done anything? So who's at fault? You or them? Because you're their boss. So what happened was when you knew the first time, okay, cool, all right. The second time, so the third and fourth and trickle. So at some point, you can't blame them. You got to blame you because you
Well,
voted them in.
here's what I'm finding too. I'm finding in Philadelphia, we love the people that we know of and throw big baskets.
Yeah.
So your community can be tore up on the floor and be living in crime, and they throw you a big senior fish fry,
Is
and
that
you
what we
love
call
it.
crumbs? Because I always I touch on that. I touch on that. Here's the thing: because they're throwing you parties and they're doing that's not enough. Because at the end of the day, when them things are over with, we go back home to the same issues. So we have grandmom who is sitting up here trying to figure out because she does it every month. Every month she gets this check, and every month she has her utilities, she has her rent, she has her 3 to 4 prescriptions that she has to take. Then we have transportation on top of food, and then of course she goes, and then she goes to church, Okay, and then you throwing these little parties or these crumbs does nothing to grandma at the end of the day. So all of that, and I get it because we get so attached to these people that we've known, and I've always said that just because stop voting for these people, just because I know them since they was little, just because they helped me when my child was in going to jail. Okay, what about the rest of the people? They didn't help them. Just because, they throw some amazing parties, but what happens after the party is over with? You're still having high crime. The children are still not being properly educated. The police are still, you got the drug addicts, you got the drug dealers, you still stuck with these high bills. Okay, so what happens? Okay, but anyway, so we had our amazing guest on. Yeah, 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 man, shout out love. Yeah, Wilmington, Delaware representing. Yeah, he broke it down. Did he break it down? He broke it down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've had his mother on here. So it's interesting. But yeah, he's a young guy, and he is doing some awesome stuff in South Philly, Grace Ferry, in his district. He is, and he has no issue saying, "Hey, I'm doing this. We've done this. We passed that. We're working on this. I don't like that. This is going to change," and he's doing it, and I like that. Yes. No. I love it. I like the ones that I can engage with, and it's not just election time. Because election time makes me a little leery, eerie. When the only time I get to see you is come election time. Because I let people know, when I find something about them, when I do the research, and I'll let them know, hey, when you get in office, we're gonna be up your behind. You gotta remember, I'm your boss. Like, that's why you asked me to get you in. I don't want you to get a little sideways, get a little cocky, and start feeling yourself or smelling yourself and think, "Oh, I got no, sunshine. You you work for me." Is that? Yeah, they sort of lose track and they get in there, and they start doing stuff that, hey, that's not what you said you were going to do, or here's the thing that I don't want you to get sideswiped, but anyway, we're going to take a pause for the cause, and we're going to come back with our next guest, and um, so we have Nefertina. Oh my gosh, Sereno. I guess that's how you pronounce her last name. But they're here, her and her husband, yeah, executive officer at Covenant Rescue 911, co-founder, and they are marriage counselors, and they do a whole slew of stuff. So they're here. We're going to take a pause for the cause, and then we're going to bring them on. How about that one? That sounds good? Uh-oh. You want to say? Okay. You want to sing? Okay.